Sunday to take on the winner of Georgetown, Delaware, immediately following us. Penn has already advanced. They'll take on the winner of Harvard and Rutgers also tonight. Hi, everybody. Chris Cotter alongside Paul Carcaterra. Carc, at 10-5, Buckeyes have made the NCAA tournament. Fair to say they're a little bit of a surprise, though, this year?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, nobody was talking about the Buckeyes. They weren't a preseason top 20 team. Nick Myers and his staff have done a tremendous job. No one was talking about their quarterback and their superstar, Jack Myers, as well. He's been unbelievable in 2022. 6'4", 200-pounder from Washington, D.C. What makes him so effective is how two-handed he is. He can beat you with the right, the left, an elite passer, but also big enough around goal line extended to always find pay dirt. Not only is he going to be an All-American, if the Buckeyes go on a run, this guy potentially could be a first or a second teamer.
6th in the NCAA in points per game coming into this game. He can fill it up. And speaking of which, Cornell, when you talk about filling it up, their entire attack line can really get it done, can't they?
I think it's the most underrated attack unit in all of college lacrosse. Michael Long is the quarterback. He plays behind the cage like Jack Myers. John Piatelli is the righty finisher. And C.J. Kurth is the Ivy League Rookie of the Year. He gets to the rack with a left-handed, two-handed cradle and power. One of 5 Kurth boys, loves the game of lacrosse, and he's just a junkie around the cage, too. Like, he finds the back of the net.
There you see Kurth, Ivy League Rookie of the Year. Cornell will be in white, trimmed in red. Ohio State in their scarlet, trimmed in silver. These two teams met earlier this season, back on the 5th of March. And that was a game that Cornell won here 14-11. Ohio State got up 3-0 in that game after one quarter, but then Cornell blitzed them. They were able to get the win after scoring 7 straight in the second quarter, so a game of runs. Justin Inacio, Angelo Petrakis on the opening faceoff, and Inacio recently drafted into the PLL, gets the W.
Yeah, he'll be joining the Archers Lacrosse Club, and Inacio has had a really good senior year. But when they played earlier, these two teams, he struggled against Angelo Petrakis. So that first win, a confidence booster for the senior.
Myers coming upfield, now behind the cage. Over to Scott White. A little banged up coming into this game. He was a game-time decision, but a nice job defensively by Cornell. Jack Follows, who I know you love, Carc, with the turnover.
Yeah, he hasn't played a lot this year. He's been nicked up, but once he entered the lineup, the 1-2 punch with him and Gavin Adler, who's been an absolute eraser.
Licciardi. Dodge had a little bit of an opening, backs it back out. It's Billy Coyle, number 11, now coming out of the box is Hugh Kelleher. Carc, it's a hot day here. I mentioned a heat wave for this time of year here in central New York. Will that affect either one of these teams more than the other?
You know, I think Ohio State's a team that will run a little bit more in terms of the midfield and the defensive middies to give more transition opportunities. Okay. So if Ohio State finds little spots, because they love the 6-on-6 sets offensively with the pick game, and defensively they'll lock you down, but they have moments in games where they show the ability to make a play from end to end.
Big collision behind the cage. Wallen with the stop, first save of the game for the senior goaltender, Skylar Wallen. Punt return clear for Connor Camille. In goal for Cornell, Chase Erlin. 2 upperclassmen, 2 seniors in goal for these two teams, respectively. Erlin, T.D. Erlin's brother out of Victor, New York, and Skylar Wallen, hometown kid from Powell, Ohio, in net for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, you mentioned Connor Camille. He's one of those athletes that can get up and down. A big loss for the Buckeyes. We were noticed in warm-ups when we talked to some of their personnel as well. Trent DeCiccio is out, and he is a guy that makes those plays in transition.
Right. Chance for Ohio State. Shot can't get through. Ball on the ground picked up by the Big Red. In transition, both these teams have shown now that they want to get out and run if the opportunity presents itself. Now Cornell slows it down. Spencer Wertheim, number 31 in the game now, second midfield unit for Cornell. That's Kirst. Left hand dominant. Gets to the middle of the field. Kelleher, he shoots wide. There you see Wallen. Took over after the Denver game. Caton Johnson, the North Carolina transfer, started the year here in goal for Ohio State. Wallen has come in, he's been real good. Sheehan thought about dodging, now back up top. Alex Holmes in the game for Cornell. Still 20 seconds to shoot. That's Wertheim. Kirst. Will he go to work? To the right. Beautiful job defensively, dislodging the ball from him before he could even get a shot off. That looked like Jacob Steiner, who had a nice defensive play. Now a big ground ball. Picked up by Kirst. Bobby Van Buren knocked it away, and Kirst couldn't even get a shot off. Good defensive stand that time by the Buckeyes.
Aggressive. Ohio State defensively has made some strides this season. Travis Crane, defensive coordinator, brings juice, brings energy, and work ethic. You saw Bobby Van Buren make a play just moments ago. He's a freshman that moved from long stick midfield to close defense, and the connection between Travis Crane, his defensive coordinator, and the player. The hours watching tape.
Right. Here's Ed Sheen. He's come on strong of late. Outside shot. Nice play by Hurlins. Sheldon that one aside. It'll still be Ohio State ball.
Here's the matchup. Gavin Adler, 77 in white, will be a first-team All-American. He's an absolute eraser. He's 5'8". Jack Myers is 6'4". Size is not going to be an issue in this matchup.
Knox will shoot. Hurlins there to make the stop. Second save of the game.
And you're going to think I'm crazy when I say that.
You
do, but if you watch Gavin Adler play, he is so strong and wins the leverage game against bigger opponents. He'll ride you out on that hip. You saw him in warm-ups, man. He is put together and jacked.
Correct. Billy Coyle waits for the substitutions to come in. Keller inside. Thought we might get a rake shot there from Piatelli. Scores so many goals that way. Didn't get it though. Here's Coyle. Teammate sets a pick and is dumped. Coyle now will take it behind the cage. Coyle defending nicely, loses his footing, gets it back. Shoots a tough angle shot. Can't beat Wallen. Langermeyer came out of there with it. Now Wallen will try and lead the clear. Ball down to the carpet. Buckeyes were able to get it across with a couple of seconds still to spare. Both teams combined 0 for 7 shooting so far in the game. Both these teams also lost in the semifinals of their conference tournaments last weekend. Although you never go into a conference tournament wanting to lose, you always want to get the dub. You might think that that extra day rest might do them some good, especially on a hot day like today.
And if you're Ohio State, one less time you have to play Maryland. Wow!
Colby Smith puts the Buckeyes on the board.
When you play for a school like Ohio State, it means something when you're from the state of Ohio, right? Skylar Wallen comes up with a massive save and fuels this offense. And Colby Smith, just look at the torque here, Cotter. I mean, he gets into it from a physical standpoint, and then on the roll, you see that he frees up his hands and steps back and just bam, like a catapult. That is an absolute hammer of a shot.
You see 40 goals for Smith, missed all of last year with an injury. So you bring him in, you got a guy like Jason Knox who transfers in. All of a sudden that attack line with Jack Myers looks completely different this year.
Yeah, and I thought he just used his body so well. Like, get aggressive, get into the defender, and then as you roll, you take that step away from the pressure to free up your hands, and what a shot.
Ignacio wins another draw. Picked in the third round by the Archers last Tuesday in the PLL college draft. First face-off man taken. Scott White, again we mentioned he was a game-time decision with a lower body injury, so good to see him out there, number 6 for Ohio State. Here's Myers. Help comes beautifully, but we get a whistle, and we'll get it inside the crease. That's going to be a violation going to Cornell.
Gavin Adler will be on Myers all day, but Myers will free up from Adler because of Ohio State's pick game. They are relentless in the pick game. Maybe more so than any team in the country in terms of just dropping picks possession after possession. How will Cornell respond to that? In the first matchup, Gavin Adler held Myers, who's an 80-point scorer, to 1 goal.
That's a big-time shutdown when you talk about the amount of goals and assists that Myers has on the season. Holmes looks to dodge down the alley, nothing doing. Connor Camille nicely on him. Now over to Wertheim. Kirst. That's Piatelli trying to get in front of the net. Can't do it. Snyder all over him. Now he does, but Wallen makes the save. Piatelli can't stay out of the crease. Turnover to the Buckeyes. That's a couple of punt returns we've seen from Camille already.
Yeah, he can fly in the middle of the field. But the DeCiccio absence is big because Trent DeCiccio is a player with the 8 goals and 3 assists. They're all in transition on extra man as well. So he gives you kind of like some of those juice goals in non-traditional sets, and he's not playing.
Mitchell Pelkey behind the net, loses his footing. Absolutely harassed by Jack Follows.
Yeah, he's the real deal, right? Like, he is getting after you.
This will be a shot at a score. Coming upfield.
Jackson Reed has held the best for last in terms of his career. He's been on an absolute tear. The senior from Canada with 46 goals, selflessly goes to the midfield for his last campaign. Piatelli shut down by Walland, gives juice to an offense in a midfielder who's been on a tear.
Win at work by communicating effectively with Grammarly. Grammarly helps you rewrite your sentences for clarity.
Will triple in the next year,
so you get the reactions you want. Try Grammarly today at Grammarly.com.
Want to manage COVID? Just pay for Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Let's put COVID to rest.
Cornell and Ohio State met back on March 5th on this very field. Ohio State jumped out to an early lead, 3-0 on the road in impressive fashion, but then kind of fell apart for them a little bit. Cornell went on a 7-0 run to take control of the game. Buckeyes fought back, but it wasn't enough. Ignacio was less than 50% of the faceoff X that day. That was a little bit of a surprise. Buckeyes had a terrible time clearing the ball. Just 12 of 19 Carcon clears, and it ended up being a Cornell W by 3 goals.
You give that offense more opportunities with that attack, good luck. And look at the head coaches. Connor Busick, one of the youngest coaches in Division I. He's a superstar in the making. One of the best midfielders ever to play at Cornell. And a PLL recent retiree, and then Nick Myers. What a job he's done this year. Unbelievable when you think about it.
Got the team back here, first time since 2017 in the NCAA tournament. That was the year they went all the way to the championship game before losing to Maryland.
Yeah, you lose 3 legends too, and Ryan Tarafenko, the short stick defensive midfielder, Jeff Hendricks, your long stick midfielder, and then the school's all-time leading goal scorer, Trey LeClaire. You're not ranked in the preseason. Everyone's doubting you. I think this might be his best coaching job to date.
His team off to a strong start here this afternoon, up 2-0. White Chase loses his footing, gets it back. We had a tiny little bit of rain, probably about an hour ago here. That might have had some impact on this turf, as it might still be a little bit wet. Got a timeout on the field. Ohio State calling timeout. Coach Myers seeing something he didn't like with a 2-goal lead. Wants to talk things over at the 5:08 mark here in this first quarter. Let's take a look at the brackets just to give you an idea of where we are. Full day yesterday, 4 games. Penn with the overtime win over Richmond yesterday to advance. They're at Hempstead next week, taking on the winner of Rutgers and Harvard. That game immediately following us here on ESPNU. Got our game, and then the winner of this game takes on the winner of Delaware and Georgetown in Columbus next week. Boy, Ohio State would love that in a home game in the quarters for Ohio State if they can get by Cornell here today. And then here's what we got at the top half. Filled out. Maryland hammered Vermont as we would have expected. And then Virginia pulled away last night against Brown. That game is going to be tremendous in Columbus.
Maryland, Virginia. I mean, everyone in the preseason would have thought that is a final day of the season type matchup. Memorial Day weekend, that Monday for the national championship. Maryland, the undisputed #1 team in the nation, that does not have a weakness against the 2-time defending champs in the quarterfinals.
I know, it's going to be great. I'm glad I'm doing that, Gabe. Sorry about that, Card. Hey, NCAA men's lacrosse coverage continues next weekend, as you saw, quarterfinal action. Beginning on Saturday, May 21st at noon on ESPNU. Visit NCAA.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships. You and Q and Anish going to be in Hempstead. I will be in Columbus with Ryan Boyle. Katie George going to be on the sideline for those games. In the shoe, Ohio State got off to a great start here. 5-minute mark of the first quarter, up a couple of goals. Here's Mitchell Pelkey. We'll see more of players like Pelkey today. Ari Allen, he's out with an illness today, although we did see him warming up, so it's possible we could see him skip past here. Watch out! Wow, Colby Smith, another rocket for the Buckeyes. It's 3-0 Ohio State.
This is all about patience for Mitchell Pelkey, 25 in red. Behind the cage, not pressing too much, trusting his instincts and his quick feet here. He's got the short stick matchup. You see all of the tilt in the Cornell defense, right? I think they showed too early on Mitchell Pelkey, and that created that diagonal pass. Because of the pressure down on the Cornell defense, ball side, the weak side was wide open.
Ignacio winning another faceoff. So that was a story in the first game that he was under 500, although he loses the ball here in possession back to Cornell, but he's obviously having a much better day today, and that's going to impact this game in a huge way.
When you look at Cornell, when they're clicking on all cylinders, #1 behind the cage, Michael Long, is quarterbacking, distributing the rock.
Big blast from Coyle goes wide.
You know, he was a little nicked up early in the season, and when he was injected back in the lineup, this offense is different.
Long here on Van Buren. Bobby Van Buren, the true freshman, number 44. Kelleher hits the back of the net. Wallen gives chase. Cornell 0 for 7 on shots so far in this game, Clark. They really haven't had a lot of great opportunities either, have they?
They haven't. They're attacking from up top a lot.
Going for the open goal, and a goal! That's Tyler Gallagher from distance. Buckeyes have a ton of momentum here early, and the big advantage.
If you have the backup against a 10-man ride, it's house money. So Cornell is going to take Erlin out of the net for an extra man to apply pressure in the full court press. And Gallagher says, okay, that's fine. You see the backup, Myers is back there, so that's a shot. If you miss the cage, no big deal, you just possess it. It's easier than clearing the ball.
Gallagher's first goal of the season. Think about how small that target is from that far away, too, from Gallagher. I mean, he nails it. Inacio is just owning the faceoff X right now. He's won all 5 draws early in this game. Buckeyes' second midfield unit. Weissman in the game along with Pelkey. Weissman inverted. He's going to get a good angle. Now help comes. Derwin had to make that stop. Smith was going for the hat trick here in the first quarter.
He can shoot.
3 saves for Erlin.
A lot of speed when 4 in red has time to set his feet. If I'm Cornell and I have one of the best attacks in the country, that's who I want handling the ball. I want Kirst handling the ball, I want Piatelli handling the ball, and Long handling the ball. You saw the numbers those guys have put up this season. We featured in the open. That's where the ball needs to run through.
Here's Sheehan. Kirst. Lefty going with his right, gets in front of the goal and scores! Flag down. Let's see if they wave it off. The officials are going to meet in the crease. One of them says in the crease. We did have a flag down, we still do. No goal, they wave the goal off. So no goal, but we still have to check the flag, and they pick the flag up.
They're calling no goal.
Let's see if we get a description of what's going on here.
My thought is it's a push on the defense.
No goal. White was in the goal mouth. Red 42, technical foul, push 30 seconds. Red 42, 30.
So the half circle inside the crease is the goal mouth. You can never land in the goal mouth if you're an offensive player. Does he land in the goal mouth? Yes, eventually he lands in the goal mouth. However, it's a push on the defense, so the goal is disallowed, and that's the problem with this rule. If you're a defender, would you rather give up a goal, or would you rather get the push and be man down?
It's like in football, if you're beaten for a bomb, you just grab the guy, you take the 15-yard penalty in college rather than get beat for a touchdown. Worked out well for Ohio State temporarily. Let's see if this man-up unit for Cornell can make them pay. Over to Kirst near side. Big Red probing. Shot. No, didn't get through. Wallen is going to give chase, and he's going to win the race to the end line. Team's back at full strength. Cornell now 0 for 8 shooting on the day. Buckeyes with a successful clear. As George Walsh gets rid of it to Myers. Now we got a player down, a player injured for Cornell. That's Michael Long. He's holding his upper arm. Things went from bad to worse for Cornell right there. Starting attackman. Injured it on the ride. Connor Busick obviously looking on concerned.
He's going to have to come off because they blew the whistle for an injured player.
Our officials sorting things out.
Yeah, it's that left arm, almost like he hyperextended it, right, when he was trying to...
A little stinger. He's staying in the game, though.
It's good news.
Yeah, great news.
Yeah, he's the guy. He's the quarterback.
Down 4-0 here, creeping into the final minute of the first quarter. Colby Smith, a couple of big-time goals already in this game for Ohio State. Rockets from outside, gets it over to Weissman. Jason Knox. Got the shorty, Christopher Davis, on him. Let's see if he wants to take advantage and dodge from X. two-man game behind the cage with Jack Myers. Letting this clock wind down. Shot clock is about a 2-second difference from the game clock, so they can work it almost all the way down. Follows, slides. Now he's on Knox. Knox in a little bit of trouble in the corner. Gets it to Myers. Working on Adler.
See the pick game, now he has a shorty.
Right. Adler's still there, though, and switches off on him. Clock winding down. Myers makes a beautiful move and hits the pipe. Race to the end line, but it's irrelevant. Has just 1.5 seconds left to go in this first quarter. Cornell with possession. Long shot from the end line is going to be gobbled up by Wallen. Much like it was in the first meeting this year between these two teams on this very field. First quarter owned by the Buckeyes. In March, it was 3-0 Ohio State. Today, 4-0 OSU. A trip to the quarterfinals on the line.
Grammarly adds confidence so you don't undermine your message. And offers rewrites so your ideas come through clearly. Try Grammarly today at Grammarly.com.
Great news! Children's Hospital of Philadelphia now has a second hospital in King of Prussia. For you, and for you. Our new hospital in King of Prussia, open now, for you.
Cotter and Clark with you inside Sholkoff Field at the Good New York. All Buckeyes here through 4-0. I mentioned they were up 3-0 in the first meeting between these two teams. And then Cornell came back. But so far, Colby Smith, a couple of goals. Jackson Reed added one as well.
Yeah, Jackson Reed has had an incredible senior campaign. He's just been dicing opposing teams' defensive midfielders. And Colby Smith has shown you some serious range, whether it's the one-on-one dodges up top or just time and room. And then the full field goal by Gallagher. Why not give it a launch? You had the backup, house money.
Connor Busick and Cornell notorious for slow starts all season long. Look what they've done in the first quarter compared to the next 3 quarters, which is what they did against Ohio State in March.
Yeah, Ohio State was up 3-0 in March.
7 goals in a row from Cornell in the second quarter. Gave them control of that game, but the face-off right now is just being owned by the Buckeyes. Loose ball here, though, so a chance for Cornell to negate that. We'll get a whistle. An illegal procedure. With Buckeye playing without his equipment. Matt Palin, Tyler Harriman, Scott McCall are officials today. Fresh 80-second shot clock for Cornell. Now Matt Licciardi. Along with Billy Coyle. Just a diminutive midfield unit for Cornell. Gotta get something going. Gotta get quality opportunities. They didn't really have very many of those in the first quarter. Coyle. Trying to work goal line extended. Has the ball completely taken away from him. Beautiful job defensively, Greg Langermeyer.
Yeah, they were trying to pick on the short sticks with that last possession for Cornell. You have Licciardi, you have Coyle, 2 smaller guys, but really quick and can get underneath.
Had to get rid of it. Nice play by Erlin. Not sure if that was going to find the back of the net, but Erlin didn't take any chances. Preventing another long goal by Ohio State on the clear. Now Cornell searching for their first goal of the game.
There's Hugh Kelleher. I mean, what a change of pace, right? Kelleher is 6'3". Licciardi and Coyle 5'7", 5'8".
Licciardi opted not to take the shot down the alley. Now has it at X. Langenmeyer still on him. He'll take that shot too high. seconds still to shoot. Kirst will put it in play. He's got plenty of room. Whistle blows. Again, in the crease.
Yeah, Licciardi, 13 and white, was setting up a pick, made it too close to the crease area.
Second time today, the 5th turnover of the game.
I just don't see flow with the offense. And I want it in the attack stick because of how complete the unit is, right? You have the quarterback in Long, you have the lefty in Kirst, the righty in Piatelli, and they play off each other so much. Let the offense run through them.
Tough angle shot from Smith that time. Erlin makes the save. Initially loses it, but gets it back. Kelleher does a nice job splitting the defense. Now he's got a full head of steam. Gallagher's limping around a little bit out there, and he's checking Kirst, so keep an eye on 42 in red. Now he's down on a knee. They're going to have to blow the whistle here. Gallagher is hurt. Now we finally get a whistle. Ohio State close defenseman Tyler Gallagher, transferred in from Lynchburg, hurt on the play.
Yeah, by rule, when an injured player stops the game, and in this case, obviously Gallagher is down, like Michael Long did, they should be leaving the game, by rule.
Gallagher's having his right knee checked by this Ohio State training staff, and we've mentioned it already today. Trent DeCiccio not playing today. Ari Allen is sick. He may not play today. We haven't seen him yet. Scott White had the injured lower body. We have seen him at least a little bit, but injuries mounting up for the Buckeyes.
It looked like he might have taken a slash on the knee, which is actually good news too, right? You don't want it to be a non-contact injury. Yeah, you see that slash on the knee. But you mentioned those guys. Like, those are big-time players. Ari Allen has emerged as a big-time threat for Ohio State in terms of his playmaking ability. As a midfielder, he likes to invert, so quick and electric.
And without Griffin Hughes, who they lost early in the season, Scott White has had to come in and play big-time minutes for Coach Myers on the left. You see, don't forget, coming up, Harvard and Rutgers. Expect a lot of fireworks in that one from Piscataway, 5 o'clock, and then following that one, Delaware and Georgetown.
C.J. Kirst's older brother, Colin Kirst, the goalie for the Scarlet Knights, had a terrific senior campaign. Rutgers so close last year, losing by 1 to UNC in the quarterfinals. They're back, they're in the mix. They're playing a Harvard team that has a lot to prove because people kind of doubted this team would get into the NCAA tournament, and they're here.
Kirst got his hands free, now he scores. Puts the big red on the board.
I'll keep saying it, like, give the attack the ball for Cornell. These playmakers are next level type of attackmen. Long passes to Kirst. You know what Kirst does so well in this? He feels the over pursuit of the defense. The defense was trying to keep Kirst behind the cage, right? But they did it too much in space, so it allowed him to get underneath and continue going up that left side. That approach, that lockdown approach, Kirst feasts.
Of the famous Kirst brothers. That was Carson Rainey, by the way, for Ohio State, who came in for Tyler Gallagher, defending on the play and overrunning it. Face-off win for Cornell, so they got a little bit of momentum building right now in this game, coming off their first goal. Piatelli waits for the subs. That's Licciardi. Kirst working on George Walsh. Now up top to Kelleher. Forcing Kirst to his right, but he scores anyway.
Two goals in 46 seconds. Give the rock to 15 and white, the Ivy League Rookie of the Year, for a good reason. He's a lefty. Ohio State is daring him to make a play with his right hand. Flushes down the alley. and with little margin for error, he just sneaks it past Skylar Walland. The placement of that shot and the patience too to not feel like you were done angle-wise, right? And I think Ohio State needs to jam Kirst there. You can't let him run down the alley without contact.
Got a timeout on the field. I mentioned at the very top of the broadcast we had some weather move in here in central New York. It's going to be piecemeal throughout the whole afternoon, and apparently we do have a lightning strike close enough in the area to put us in a delay situation. So with Ohio State leading 4-2, and it's actually kind of a shame for Cornell right now, Kark. They just scored the last 2 goals of the game, building a little momentum, and now we're going to have to take a break for at least a half an hour. Coach Myers doesn't like it because he knows this could be a long day for him in central New York before we can get this game in just at the 11-minute mark of the second quarter, but it is what it is. We'll sort it out. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back here from Ithaca. Ohio State up 4-2 here early in the second quarter.
I think we should explore a few solutions.
Grammarly's suggestions catch when your tone might undermine your message, and it offers suggestions to make you sound more confident.
Let's explore a few solutions.
Try Grammarly today at Grammarly.com.
Our score here in the second quarter, Ohio State up 4-2 over Cornell. We have weather in the area in a lightning delay. So at least a half hour from now, Chris Cotter alongside Paul Carcaterra with you in Ithaca. And Kark, it's a game kind of similar to the one we saw last March, right? Ohio State jumped out to an early lead in the first quarter. Second quarter, though, Cornell mounted a comeback in March, and they've done it here, scoring 2 goals in a row.
Well, what happened in March, right? Ohio State has that big first quarter, and then Cornell answers with what unit? Their attack.
Right.
This is one of the best attacks in the nation, and I was saying in this first half, give them the ball. Let them dominate play. Every possession, Michael Long should touch the rock as the quarterback. And you're seeing C.J. Kirst, the Ivy League Rookie of the Year, do his thing.
And if you're just joining us, here's how we got to where we got. Ohio State, 4 quick goals right off the bat.
Yeah, Kobe Smith was letting it fly with the right hand. Jackson Reed, who's a lefty, they dared him to go right, and he made him pay. Smith again planting his feet, letting it fly. Gallagher with the full field launch. Bam! You want a full court press, the Buckeyes? Well, they got some long-range shooters. Then Cornell feels it from the attack. C.J. Kirst, the left-handed bull dodger. A lot like Jackson Reed being dared to go righty. Well, they did the same thing to Kirst, and he made him pay.
That goal just moments ago, and then the officials met with the coaches, and they decided weather is too dangerous. We're in a delay. We're going to send you to yesterday's game on tape programming between Yale and St. Joe's. Classic game, so enjoy that. As soon as we get going here again in Ithaca, we'll bring you back here for live lacrosse. Hard and fast. Had to have a lightning delay. As you could see, it was ugly here in Cornell, but the fans have come back. The sun has come out. We're getting ready to restart this game with 11 minutes left to go in the second quarter. We will be on ESPNU and ESPN News all the way until the top of the hour, and then we will hand off the crew on ESPNU over to Harvard and Rutgers, and we will stay with you on ESPN News until the conclusion of our games. Yeah, the fans are coming back, getting ready to enjoy some first-round NCAA action. Paul Carcaterra, Chris Cotter with you. Glad you stuck with us throughout the weather delay. When we left, you had Ohio State breaking out to the early lead in the first quarter, but early in the second quarter, Cornell struck for 2 quick goals, so they're kind of right back into this thing.
They did. They gave C.J. Kirst the rock and established some presence from an attack perspective, and I think Cornell's attack is their strength. They need to handle the ball. They have playmakers within that group that could change the complexity of a game. The biggest question for me, though, is how these players respond to all this time off, right? Like you and I are in the booth. We're like, let's go.
Sweating, looking for our double lattes to keep us going. If you missed the action before we had the weather delay, Ohio State broke out 4-0 in that first quarter. Everything seemed to be going right for the Buckeyes.
Colby Smith, Jackson Reed from the invert. He's been special in 2022. You can't let 4 and red plant and rip. He can hurt you. The full field launch, when you press Ohio State with a 10-man ride, you leave an empty net. And Gallagher from deep downtown, and then this was what I was talking about earlier. C.J. Kirst started to find his groove. Ivy League Rookie of the Year, the big lefty. They give him the right, he makes him pay.
Kirst with 2 quick goals there in that second quarter, cutting the deficit in half, so it's 4-2 right now. We have 11 minutes left to go in this second quarter. And to your point about the weather delay, it was a lengthy delay, so both teams went into the locker rooms. Now they got to come back out and kind of get those juices flowing again. And the other thing of note, too, is that Ohio State already came into this game suffering from some injuries. Midfielders Ari Allen and Trent DeCiccio are out. We know that Scott White is beat up a little bit. We saw Tyler Gallagher with a knee injury that didn't look too serious, but he had to be taken off the field. So, you know, they're dealing with some of those injuries right now coming out of this break.
Yeah, Tyler Gallagher is back on the field right now, so that's good news. But the depth at the defensive midfield position, DeCiccio isn't your normal defensive midfielder. He plays extra man as well, too, so he's one of the most valuable players for Ohio State.
Back underway, and Angelo Petrakis wins the faceoff. That was another thing we saw early on in the game. It was all Inacio, and then Petrakis has won a few of these in a row to help with this comeback that is being staged right now by Cornell. Back in action after the delay. Let's not forget that these two teams faced each other in early March. Cornell with the 14-11 win on this very field. Kirst looking for his 3rd straight goal in this game. Over to Coyle. That's Piatelli.
It's a moving pick.
Ooh, saw that hit coming. And the turnover forced. Ohio State a little sloppy on the clear, and Cornell will get to continue this possession on their offensive end. After a long weather delay, we are back in action. Ohio State and Cornell. Early part of this second quarter, Ohio State broke out to a 4-0 lead after 1. And that's when Cornell staged their comeback. 2 quick goals by sophomore C.J. Kirst. And they right now trail by 2 goals. Kelleher. Over to Coyle. Now here's Kirst. Oh, got hammered in front of the crease. That's going to be a flag and a whistle blown immediately as Kirst is still down. He got crushed right in front of the net. We're going to get a full-time call here against Ohio State, Cart.
Yeah, and this could be for 1 minute or 2 minutes, depending on how egregious.
2 minutes full time against Bobby Van Buren.
Kirst driving, puts it back in his left hand.
Oh.
You know what? Van Buren, I don't think, had malicious intent. It looked like Kirst was slipping.
Yes.
And he would have hit like his midsection if he didn't. Which there was a cross-check there.
Still would have been a cross-check.
But I don't think he was going for the head there.
The severity was increased by the fact that Kirst was losing his footing, slipping. And I think that's what Coach Myers is trying to say to the officials right now, right at midfield. He's trying to say, look, it's not as vicious as it seemed because Kirst was losing his footing at the time that the cross-check took place. But it was in the act of committing a penalty.
Probably a 1 minute cross-check, right?
Yeah.
Regardless, but when Kirst was slipping,
correct,
it changed the trajectory of how he was being hit, so it went to his head.
So now it's 2 minutes full time. This is a huge opportunity here for Cornell to get back into this game. Just about 43% man up on the year. That's good for 17th in the country coming in. Tried to get to Piatelli, couldn't. Now a big loose ball here. This is huge. Got to get something going offensively before you lose possession. They do. Couldn't get it past Wallen.
Sticks are active.
Yeah, they keep possession, but wow, that was an unbelievable opportunity by Long right on the doorstep, and he couldn't cash in. Again, an opportunity on the doorstep and couldn't get a shot off. Couldn't get a clean look. Still with possession, though. That's huge. Here's Piatelli. Tried again, jam it in. Long, he'll shoot. Wallen was there all the way. 5th save for Wallen. And now Ohio State will go to work on this man down. Turnover back to the middle of the field is Cornell. Adler tried to get a shot off. That's high up in the air. And a little haphazard play here in the middle of the field. Kelleher with the big hit. But Camille finally ends up with it. Now Ohio State will look to just settle things down a little bit. Run a little bit of clock. Inside the midway point of this second quarter. Weissman now to Ed Sheen. Ed Sheen will again work that clock in the corner. Buckeyes back to full strength. Reed, who I thought he wanted to fire, just couldn't get his hands free.
Or go behind the back,
yeah.
Right? Because he can do that with the left hand. Crafty inside finisher, 29 in red, Jackson Reed.
Both teams a little bit discombobulated here, as you might expect. Long weather delay. Myers, though, look at that shot, and a goal.
Wow. 1 second left on the shot clock, and they're ace in the hole all season long. Delivers. The awareness to understand the 80-second shot clock is almost expired. Going to the rack with vengeance. You see the muscle and the strength, too. Jack Myers owns the physicality on this matchup. Wow.
Whistle on the face-off. And we'll redo it. Inaccio's going to win it to himself.
He's been on today.
Yeah, he has. Trackus has been better here in the second quarter, but Inacio clearly has the better of it. Buckeyes now look to move quickly. Here's Myers once again. That matchup we've been having our eye on all day long.
Yeah, and he was able to maximize the opportunity to get away from Adler on that last goal. He was being marked up by Jack Follows, not 77 in white, who will be the primary defender on Jack Myers.
Sheen tried to get it through traffic. Couldn't find Smith. Instead, it's picked off by the Big Red. Smith, Kyle Smith this time, gets it to the middle of the field. Posey looking for help, finds it in the form of John Piatelli. Wertheim behind the cage. Piatelli. Van Buren out of the box, number 44. Freshman checking Michael Long. Strait stays with him through the pick. Cornell looking to move quickly. Wertheim. Got some space inside and a goal. Michael Long. Beautiful cut right in front of the cage, and he beats Skylar Wallen.
This is all Spencer Wertheim. 31 in white. Makes a fantastic move to the cage. He gets to the middle. And as he starts making his way towards the middle, you see 2-3 red shirts on him collapsing, right? So this is the original matchup. And then the slide from behind and then up front. And Michael Long just knows, with all the eyes on Wertheim, to back cut, fill that hole, following the slide, cashing in.
Violation against Inacio. Any 3 violations in any half is a 30-second penalty against you on the face-off, so Inacio has his first. Wallen clangs off of him. Got a loose ball push against Ohio State. Ball stays with Cornell.
Did you see the momentum of Hugh Kelleher when he came out of the box, starting that dodge? 27 in white up top. That's a big dude. 6'3", well over 200 pounds, full steam.
Licciardi's going to look to drive. It's a short stick here. Comes upfield. Now the help comes. Quick ball movement, Coyle. Tough angle, has none. Back to Long behind the cage. Here's Piatelli. Kelleher, he'll fire and score!
This is what I'm talking about, Cotter. You just saw the urgency the prior time he touched the ball. Hugh Kelleher knows he is a big guy who can get down the alley, and if you're not going to slide to him and make him a passer, this is going to happen. He can handle pressure and contact because of his ability to shoot on the run with his right hand, so Ohio State flushes him out to his strength.
Face-off win for Cornell. They look to move quickly. Piatelli brings it back out. Cornell has scored 4 of the last 5 goals scored in this game. Wertheim. Kirst has a lot of room. Man, that was a lot on that shot. Mad at himself for shooting off target.
If you watch him in warm-ups, he takes a ton of shots from that very spot. That's normally money in the bank for 15 in white.
Long working on Van Buren. That's a good matchup too. Quickly over to Sheehan. Piatelli gets to the middle of the field, can't get his hands free. Still plenty of time to shoot. 25 seconds on the shot clock. Kirst bangs into his defender. Jump shot. Wallen is there. Nice job by Sheehan to gain possession, though. Fresh 60 seconds for Cornell.
That's what you want, tire out this defense. Just feel like there's way more flow, way more attack mode after this weather delay than really what we saw for the first quarter and change. It didn't seem like Cornell had an identity. It didn't seem like they were comfortable. Now they're at attack mode.
Also possession in the second quarter. They've outshot Ohio State 12-3 in the quarter. Yardy. Long defensive possession now for Ohio State, 20 to shoot. Coyle has nowhere to go. Curse, tough angle, too high. Only 3 to shoot now. So what do you think Cornell is going to do here? Try and get a quick shot?
No.
Dump it in the corner.
Yeah, ride, live to fight another day. Credit Ohio State there, right?
Two long
possessions. I'll tell you, you're watching an absolute star in the making in Bobby Van Buren, 44 in red. I mean, just watch the way he plays, freshman from North Carolina. I think he will be a first-team All-American, potential Defender of the Year down the road. I mean, he's just so good, and the jump that he's made early in the season was a long stick midfielder. Now he's guarding every team's quarterback.
Well, they talk about the fact that he was homeschooled in high school, so he didn't even play on his high school team, just club lacrosse in terms of his development. So he's making strides, leaps, and bounds here in his freshman year in Columbus. Timeout on the field. Just under a minute left to play here in this first half. Ohio State was up 4-0 after 1, and Cornell has bounced back with a strong second quarter, as they did in this first meeting this year back in March, to make it a 1-goal game.
There's Bobby. Just a freshman, and when they switched him from long stick midfield to close defense, in the Big Ten, he's guarding everyone's number 1.
Yeah.
And he's doing a fantastic job. I mean, there's no days off when you're playing in the Big Ten with the level of offensive players and attackmen.
Let's take a look back at that first meeting back in March. And in this game on this very field, Ohio State jumped out to a 3-0 lead in the first quarter before the Big Red showed what they can do offensively. They scored 7 straight to really take control of the game.
Yeah, no weather delay. It was probably like minus 20 in March up here in Ithaca. Now it's 90 degrees and we're not even wearing sport coats. But the attack came to life because of the Ivy League Rookie of the Year, C.J. Kirst. Players like John Piatelli who just complement one another so much. I love this attack. The more that you watch them. And last week in the Ivy League Championships, as we see both coaches, Connor Busick, young star in the making, Nick Myers, well, he was coaching at Ohio State at a young age, and now he's a veteran, but still young.
14 seasons now for Nick Myers in Columbus. Busick on the other side of it, really his first season. He was 2 years as head coach, but they didn't play last year, so this is his first season on the bench.
And I was talking about the attack for Cornell. What I like about them is, like last week in the Ivy Championships against Yale, they dared Michael Long to be a dodger, Yale did.
Yeah.
He showed you that he could dodge. Like, all these guys do a little bit of everything.
Ohio State now shot clock and game clock are virtually identical, so they'll hold here for the final shot to get a good look here right before the final horn sounds in this first half.
Fastest 11 minutes for us, right? And the longest hour and a half while we waited.
I'd rather be the other way around. See some good lacrosse, spend some time doing that. Knox just trying to muscle his way in, can't get it done. Smith now with the ball, back over to Knox. Final 17 seconds. Now's when you got to make something happen. Myers is going to do it. Adler's all over him. Goose ball.
Do you remember when I told you he's not going to get pushed around?
Look at that, too. Will they get a final shot off? They cannot, but fantastic defense by Adler in this Big Red side to keep Ohio State from getting a look there in the final minute of this game and to keep this disadvantage to just 1 goal here, where it was a 4-goal Ohio State lead. Cornell with a strong second quarter, especially after coming back from the weather delay, getting it down to just 1 goal here at the half. We'll look ahead to the remaining first-round games during the half. We'll show you some highlights, too, of what's taken place so far in this exciting first round of the men's tournament. Cornell trailing Ohio State by a goal at the break. 5-4 Buckeyes on top of the Big Red. Start of the third quarter. The fans are back. You can see them on the far side of the field here at Shoal Cop Field. And tell you what, Colby Smith can rip, can't he?
Oh, right out of the roll. Oh, like an absolute catapult. Now he sets his feet. It's Kobe downtown. Beats Erlin with some heat. But there's a young buck at Cornell up in Ithaca by the name of C.J. Kirst, Ivy League Rookie of the Year. Can slice and dice with the left hand. Right there, a little stutter step and juke. No contact by Ohio State. Too easy.
Those 2 goals by Colby Smith, part of a 4-0 run out the gate for the Buckeyes. But that second quarter was all Cornell, both on the scoreboard and in many cases on the stat sheet. They won 5 of the 6 faceoffs in that second quarter after Ignacio had just dominated the dot to begin the game. Now again, here we go with Petrakis. Can they keep possession? They do here to start this second half. Kirst will put it in play. Good to see Tyler Gallagher, 42, was shaken up a little bit defensively for the Buckeyes. Back in the action here in the second half. Licciardi behind the cage to Long. Van Buren on him. Here's Piatelli coming into this game, second in the country in goals per game at over 3.5. Good ball movement. Long. Just got muscled off his line by Van Buren. Here's Billy Coyle. Thought about it, instead back up top. Kirst scores!
Kirst is the real deal. We've seen now 3 goals by C.J. Kirst, and they are really, really different types of shots. We saw him dodging from goal line extended lefty. We saw him down the alley righty, now off ball. He just gets Ohio State napping on the inside, right? You kind of lull the defender to sleep like you're not part of the pick game or the cutting game, and then bam, finds that space, drops a goal.
Petrakis another one.
You almost feel like he's figuring Ignacio out.
No question about it.
Remember,
And
round
Ignacio
1.
frustrated a little bit there. He's for the first time today showing a little bit of it.
Yeah, round 1, Petrakis had the best of Ignacio. And Ignacio's put together a really nice season. Right around 60%.
No doubt. Won 7 of his last 8 faceoffs, Petrakis. That last scoring punch by Cornell. Great ball movement offensively. Ball never got stuck in anybody's stick. Piatelli. Over to Sheehan. Back to Piatelli. This is Alex Holmes. Back to Long. Up top. Extra pass. Goal! There it is again, Kark. Beautiful ball movement. It ends with Piatelli in the score.
Cornell's strength is 6-on-6 offense. It's not running up and down the field. With Angelo Petrakis owning the faceoff dot, you're playing to the strengths of this Cornell offense. Move the ball at hyperspeed. Find John Piatelli, a 50-goal scorer on the right side. This is why I think John Piatelli could make a PLL roster. He doesn't need the ball in his stick. If you put some playmakers around John Piatelli, he will fill it up.
First team All-Ivy gives Cornell their first lead of the day here early in the second half.
You don't want guys on an offense, as Ignacio gets that.
He can shoot, and he will. Just why?
You don't want guys on an offense, Cotter, that have to be ball dominant, right? You need some pieces to the puzzle. John Piatelli is always in the right spot at the right time off ball. Like if you put him around a guy like a Cornell grad, like Rob Pennell, who's a quarterback, Piatelli can score a ton of goals.
Smith wide that time.
Ken, you gotta go out. Tyler, take it.
Bizarre how much this game parallels the game they played in March, with Ohio State jumping out to an early dominant first quarter lead. And then Cornell going on a big run thereafter. Weissman, he'll get a good look left-handed. Erlin is there to knock it aside. Big chase for the ground ball in the middle of the field. Knocked free that time by Scott White. Couldn't get possession, though. It'll be Cornell ball.
Big Jack Follows is going to do some time here. The aggressive defender out of the Hill Academy, trained by the great Brody Merrill.
We'll get the call from our officiating crew.
We're at 43, 1 unnecessary.
43.
Jason Singer's who they're... Yeah, they're giving it to Follows. Got the wrong number there.
Yeah, that's 14. That's Follows.
Follows is the one in the box.
With this layoff
on Weissman. Wow.
With this layoff and the weather delay.
Yeah, everybody's got to sharpen up. It's going to take you a little while.
Not our producer, John Kettering. He's been on the ball all weekend. Not to mention, he drove us through the night last night.
Yeah, it's Singer. Calls against Singer. Well, at least Singer's sitting there, whether he deserves to be or not. Probably should have been Follows. But Singer's like, what did I do? Bottom line, it's man up for a minute for Ohio State.
Ooh, that is a
terrible turnover.
That will drive Nick Myers absolutely nuts.
Jason Knox with the bad pass, 8th turnover of the game, and this one's could potentially crush a minute man up.
We're allowing Cornell now to exhaust this penalty and give the ball back to this attack unit that's figuring things out.
Look at Adler's quickness and speed. With the ball in his stick, across the midfield line. Now he needs some help. Got to get it in a hurry. Gets rid of it. Nice job by Adler. Ran some clock, kept possession, get it to Licciardi. Now they can burn the rest of this man down.
Adler's awesome. Honestly, he's an incredible defender. Watching tape on him and owning all these matchups all season long, I mean, he's just been an absolute eraser. His motor doesn't stop, his leadership. Not one of those loud guys, just follow him.
Matt Licciardi more than content to just watch this clock wind down. Now they're back to full strength. And 20 seconds to shoot. Licciardi rolls back. Nothing doing. Meyer was outstanding that time, preventing it. Wallen makes the save, but it stays with Cornell. Now Kerr scores!
He's feeling it. He's got 4. You might want to mark up on this guy. He's 46th of the season. He's a sophomore, but only a freshman eligibility. So he's the Ivy League Rookie of the Year. There's a rebound. Watch how he pops the space, too. Just those 2 back steps give him all the room. And Kirst, from a family of 5 boys, this is their favorite time of the year, and Mother Michelle is an all-star of the bunch, one of the best lax moms in the sport. They put the youngest in the cage. That's Caden hanging from the shaft. I love that. Put the younger guy in goal. Let him deal with all the brothers shooting on him. And CJ, the Ivy League Rookie of the Year, and Colin, he's playing right now for Rutgers in this first round against Harvard at home. So you just look at the family success and the love of the game, man. That is just awesome.
This is when the Kurz family needs the old picture-in-picture so they can watch both games at the same time. And Ossio just misses.
It should be mandatory. Any family that has like more than 2 or 3 boys, like the youngest has to play goal.
It just usually works out that way.
Non-negotiable. We did it at my house.
Right.
Non-negotiable.
There's no argument.
Get in the goal.
You get in goal.
Yeah.
We're going to pepper you.
Zip it. Deal with this heat.
Zip it. Sheen falls down, gets back up. Field is actually in remarkable shape considering it rained about 18 inches in about an hour's time. Behind to Myers. Myers and Adler.
This is the matchup.
Moving pick.
I give a lot of credit to Adler on that one because of the way that he positions his body, understanding the pick's coming. The pick's always coming when you're playing Ohio State. But he kind of prepares himself many steps prior to dealing with that pick. And the communication of the Cornell defense to understand it's coming. That's a matchup, I think, late in this game. It's going to define the way that this game flushes out.
You saw those 9 turnovers for the Buckeyes. It's really limited their offensive chances ever since that first quarter. 4 goals in the first quarter, just 1 since. Over to Ryan Sheehan. Here's Kirst. As you said, he's feeling 4 goals on the day. Being checked by Gallagher. Wants to get to that left hand. Instead, they'll move it around. Beautiful move. Wallen is there to stop, but the rebound comes right to Piatelli and he buries it.
He knows they're in the middle of a run. Nick Myers is in disbelief after a 4-0 start to this ball game. After the weather delay, it's been all Big Red. I mentioned earlier, John Piatelli doesn't need much room to make a play. Give him an inch, he'll scoop, he will score. What a tremendous initial dodge by Spencer Wertheim. Did you see that first step?
Oh.
He just broke the defense down, and Wertheim's one of those guys. When you give him too much space, he's got the quickness. If you're going to defend him, you have to jam him and not let him get a running start.
Ignacio with another faceoff win himself. He'll take this shot again. That's several times he's won the faceoff to himself, run downfield, and failed to put the ball on cage, but possession stays with the Buckeyes. Myers, big head of steam upfield, finds his teammate out of the box. Zach Ludd getting some time in here, number 17 for the Buckeyes. Back to Myers. Here comes the pick again. This time Adler just blows right by Ludd. Wow. Wrestling match, goal line extended. Here's the call, and it'll go back to Ohio State.
Do you see the physicality, though, of this Cornell defense? Gavin Adler, who's given up, what, 8 inches in the matchup?
Ludd, a lot of speed, though. Got free and scored! First goal of the year for Zach Ludd coming off the bench.
The pick game could be exhausting to deal with. And Cornell is fighting and scratching and clawing. But no team in college lacrosse drops as many picks on an opposing defense as Ohio State. See here, the get through. They did not get through the pick. And it was too late to switch. You saw Adler kind of in that no man's land. Should I stay? Should I go? And what a time to get your first G of the season.
How about Jack Myers, too? Man of what, 37 goals now on the season, setting the pick for Ludd. Ignacio now exerting a little bit more dominance at that faceoff X here in this second half.
You make a great point. Jack Myers setting that pick, a lot of times he's the concern, right? Because he could be the initial pick guy, but he could roll off the pick to get the ball. So he is like the top of the scouting report in terms of the behind pick game.
Here's Weissman, check number 3 in red. Ari Allen in the game for the first time for the Buckeyes. He's been sick all week. Sucking it up here saying, I gotta play. It's do or die, it's now or never for this Buckeye team. Reed shoots. Steered away by goaltender Erlin. Fresh 60 seconds for Ohio State. And Myers will put it into play. Watch out here, watch it. Oh, bounces off a defender, doesn't get through. Smith was able to step down and put a lot into that shot.
Yep, Kobe Smith is parked on the top right side of the field, and when they invert, he's the last guy you kind of want to leave alone. Might want to shade to him a little bit. There's a lot of help on the invert, but he's open.
Here he is, trying to get back to his right. Instead, he gets it onto the wing, and Reed couldn't quite find the target. Stays with Ohio State, though, 27 to shoot. Here's Ari Allen. High pass corralled by Pelkey. No angle for Pelkey. Tried to get it through to Weissman. Instead, it's defended nicely by Cornell. Jack follows, gets possession. 10 turnovers against Ohio State. 6.5 to play here in this third quarter. We played a quarter at 4 minutes, and then we had a long weather delay. And just before that weather delay, Cornell scored a couple of goals. They were down 4-0. They scored 2 goals to get a little bit of momentum, and they've carried that momentum through here into the second half and the lead. Back over to Piatelli. Here comes Long. Up top to Kelleher. Camille comes in to help out. He'll scoop up the ground ball. No gets away from him. Calls Cornell's ball. With Camille, that was kind of like in football when a receiver looks to start running before he catches the ball. He was thinking about running all the way down toward the goal. Couldn't corral it. Here's Kirst, looking for a little bit of space in the middle of the field. Back to his right. He is a lefty. Shoots! Scores!
Wow. He's a superstar. His nickname back home is FedEx. It's not because he delivers. It's named after the character from Cheaper by the Dozen, but today he is delivering all the offense for Cornell. He's got a 5 spot. No rookie in the Ivy League has made an impact like C.J. Kirst. He's done it with the left, he's done it with the right. He's owning the afternoon, and his coach knows it.
Win at work by communicating effectively. With Grammarly, Grammarly helps you rewrite your sentences for clarity,
Will triple in the next year.
so you get the reactions you want. Try Grammarly today at Grammarly.com.
Cornell's had a rich tournament history. When you look back at the NCAA tournament, their last appearance was 2018, so a couple of years before the pandemic. Jeff Teat leading the way. Talk about superstars, Clark. You can go all the way back throughout the line, whether it's Teat, whether it's a guy like Pennell, French, McEnany in the 70s.
Max Sebald, 2019, that heartbreaker against Syracuse in the national championship. Sebald, a Tewaaraton winner. And then a legend as well, number 10. That number is huge at Cornell. Eamon McEnany lost his life in the World Trade Center in 9/11. An inspiration to anyone who's ever put that big red jersey on. And I'll tell you, this is a program that is so proud. It's gone through a lot of heartbreak, whether it's on the field or the loss of people like Eamon McEnany. And want to tell everyone in Big Red Nation, we're thinking about you. And Richie Moran, the great Richie Moran, passed away about a month ago. 3 national championships in the 70s, 29 years as the head coach here at Ithaca. He built a fraternity amongst this program that honestly, it's unmatched. The brotherhood of Cornell lacrosse is beyond special.
No question about it. And this team looking to carry that on as they're looking to play their way in the quarterfinals next Sunday in Columbus. Winner of this game takes on the winner of Delaware and Georgetown later on tonight. And that last play there, that sequence in the middle of the field, Clark, you know, you had Cornell winning the draw. Nice play by Inacio to get possession back, and then Ohio State throws it away. It's just what we've seen so often in this game. Now another offensive possession, 6-on-6 for Cornell, where they've been able to take their time and dissect this Ohio State defense. Extra pass inside. Now a shot. Wallen just got enough of it.
You know what you're seeing now? C.J. Kurse, 15 and white, with the 5 goals, the attention that he's getting. They're sliding quicker to him. They're going to make him a passer. He was able to do that.
Wallen stands tall and gives chase. In one possession, great hustle play by the senior from Powell, Ohio. Now the Buckeyes need to clear it. Gallagher had a long distance goal in that first half against the 10-man ride. This time finds his teammate. Buckeyes with possession on the offensive end. What's going on in Piscataway? Rutgers 6-1 lead in the second quarter over Harvard. That game over on ESPNU.
Looks like it's a good day for the Kurse family, right?
Yeah.
1 goal allowed by Collins so far, 5 by CJ. Winners.
Erlin looks pretty tall here against a very tall attackman, denying the 6'4" Jack Myers. Buckeyes wanted to start quickly. Instead, Jackson Green told to slow a bit. Here's Wiseman. Also an Ohio product, former Ohio High School Player of the Year. Now back to his left, got a little bit of space, just too many defenders in the way to knock it down. Too much traffic in front of him.
On that last timeout, you could tell the defensive strategy for Ohio State was to defend C.J. Kurse, 15 and white, as a dodger, right? They want to make him pass now.
Long. Van Buren comes out to meet him. Kelleher. Got Bowen on his heels. Shoots. Wallen is there. Free ball in front though. Kurse snags it. Ooh, boy.
See the hands?
Got that off so quickly. Long almost was able to keep it in play, but he was closest to it when the shot went out of bounds. So possession to Cornell, and he just got hammered by Camille. Just met him at the spot. Tough catch for Kelleher. Now it's loose. Licciardi, beautiful play. Will Kurse finish it? He does! What a scoop pass from Matt Licciardi.
Kurse has a 6-pack, but this is all Licciardi. This is incredible awareness, lacrosse IQ, and creativity from the 5th-year senior to understand who's behind you in a moment's time. Flick that to the hottest hand at Sholkoff Field. Look at this. That's ridiculous. What sixth sense?
Right into his cross, too. He didn't even have to scoop it up off the turf or anything. He was almost in a shooting motion when he caught the ball.
Those little plays, man. Those little plays in May in the NCAA tournament by veteran leaders like Licciardi. That's what May's all about.
4 goals in this quarter alone for C.J. Kurse. And another unforced error, a terrible turnover against Ohio State, gives the ball right back to this hot offense. 12 turnovers on the day.
So Petrakis is heating up in the third quarter. Inacio has started to figure him out a little bit, but they're giving it back to Cornell after the Inacio wins.
Can't even get any shots on these possessions. Full head, shot denied by Wallen. Gallagher comes out of there with it, but then he loses it. Wertheim. Holmes backs it out. Still a full minute left on this shot clock, so why not keep Ohio State on the defensive end? It feels like this field has been tilted in this entire quarter on this half, and as we go under a minute to play, the Buckeyes got to be worn out defensively.
Relentless approach and ball movement, too. This isn't an offense that has just like Dodger, 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 where everyone around them off ball can sit in stationary spots. The ball is spinning. The players are moving. This is exhausting for Ohio State.
Wertheim opting to hold it here. Shot clock and game clock are just about in sync. Now Wertheim will go with 20 seconds. Tried to get it to Kirst. Gallagher's all over him. Now back up top. Piatelli, he'll look to dodge. Trying to roll, goal line extended, does, off the pipe. Final couple of seconds of this third quarter, and the horn sounds to end action here in Ithaca. A quarter owned by C.J. Kirst, as we have 1/10 of a second left. Ohio State with possession, but they'll just touch up and the horn will sound. They're just going to let it go. As I was mentioning, Kirst with an unbelievable third quarter. 4 goals and a beautiful feed from Licciardi. Kirst finishes it off. It's all Big Red right now as we head to the fourth.
Grammarly adds confidence so you don't undermine your message. And offers rewrites so your ideas come through clearly. Try Grammarly today at Grammarly.com.
Want to manage COVID? Just pay for Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Let's put COVID to rest.
Ready, 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Heading into this fourth quarter, C.J. Kirst, he's been the star of the game for Cornell.
He's got a 6-pack of goals, 4 in the third quarter. He's been incredible doing it in a variety of ways. Dodging off ball, the left hand, his weak right hand, if you want to call it weak. It's been absolutely amazing. Look at the flip by Matt Licciardi. The awareness and lacrosse IQ, 13 knows who's behind him. The money man, C.J. Kirst, 6 goals, 1 away from Stevie Mock, 2013 against Ohio State. The combination of Rob Pennell, the Tewaaraton winner, setting up the offense, and the off-ball crease man, Stevie Mock, having a day against these Buckeyes.
Postseason record, 7 goals, NCAA record, I should say, for Cornell. We just went through the long and storied history of this Big Red Lacrosse program, so that's saying a mouthful, and Kirst has an entire quarter to get 1 more goal to tie that mark. Angelo Petrakis has done yeoman's work today against Inacio, loses his cross.
He's down.
Yeah, but a violation there.
That's not Inacio.
Gives the ball to Cornell, and let's check the injury here. Just slow to get up is Langermeyer, Greg Langermeyer, the short stick D-midi. One of the wings on that face-off.
They're thin there already.
Yeah. He looks like he's all right, though. Just shaking up a little bit, walks off under his own power. Dante Bowen's been getting some playing time today. Just ran into his own guy, yeah. Camille.
Look at this, look at this. Freight train.
Kelleher. And it ends up as a goal. Billy Coyle finishes, and Kelleher started that whole thing off by running downhill.
You know when Penn's Sam Hanley comes out of the box and it's just like, okay, watch out. Who's stopping that? Gets the defense to commit. You see the 2 red shirts. Coyle knows he will have an opportunity adjacent to Hugh Kelleher, and he cashes in.
That look right there says it all for Buckeye fans who have made the trip here to Central New York. It has been a disappointment outside of that first quarter. They have been outscored 11-2 since the end of that first quarter. By this Cornell team, now a battle. Bodies colliding. And we'll get a loose ball push against Cornell, so Buckeye ball.
This was a game coming into today. I had no clue what to expect, right? Was it going to be the Cornell team that played really well against Princeton last regular season? Or was it the team against Army that got absolutely blitzed, and they didn't look good against Syracuse as well just about 3-4 weeks ago? So Cornell was a team when they were hot and their attack was running the show. They could play with anyone.
Look at that turnover right there caused by Adler.
He's unreal. Has to be a first-team All-American. I mean, his body of work this season as an absolute eraser cannot be ignored.
Bartolotta with a nice job on the clear. Now Cornell in complete control of this game, up by 5 goals early on in the fourth quarter. Giatelli will just take a little bit of air out of it. Unless Kelleher decides to do what he's done so well today, and that's get on his horse. Coyle. Working on Langermeyer, back behind the cage to Long. He's got Van Buren checking him. They'll use a pick game themselves, trying to get Long free. Instead, it's up top to Kelleher, and here's Kirst. Coyle. Got free, just misses the cage. Big collision in front between he and Van Buren. Coyle's all right. "15 seconds to shoot for Cornell. Giatelli. Wallen got a piece of it, as did the pipe. Should be resetting that to 60 seconds, which they do. Regaining possession. Again, the field tilted over here. Ohio State, these long defensive possessions. We've seen that over the last 2.5 quarters. Meanwhile, Harvard coming back a little bit over at Piscataway. They now trail by 2 in the second quarter. That game's on ESPNU. Glad you stayed with us through the weather delay here on News. Now Piatelli on the shorty. Look to dodge from X. Got a step, but lost it. Looked like he was trying to pass it up front. Coyle gives chase, 13 to shoot. Long. Loses it, he was trying to shoot. It's a nice job defensively and picked up by Tyler Gallagher. Zubicic gets it in the stick of one of his offensive teammates. Those of you who are watching Rutgers and Harvard, that game's gone to the half. After a long weather delay here, we've gotten back into action. It's been all Cornell since. Knox. I thought he might take a shot there. Instead, back up top. Weissman.
You're dealing with that fine line if you're Ohio State. Your defense is gassed, but you're down 5 goals, right? You don't have the luxury of a ton of time. It's go time.
Myers on Davis. You know he's going to want to go to the goal here. Instead, he gives it up. Now he gets it back. Had a cutter cutting. Couldn't find him. Now Myers is going to do it himself. Finally, Ohio State with Ed Sheen gets on the board. That breaks a long drought and closes this gap to 4 goals.
On the other side of the field, this defense is gassed late in the shot clock. They find a way to make the stop. Tyler Gallagher with a great check. And Eddie Sheen, the freshman from Cali, with a nice step down. And the patience by Jack Myers in this offense, knowing that there's not a ton of time left. Your defense is gassed, but your season's on the line.
Right. And now Justin Inacio, top 10 in the country in face-off winning percentage. Third-round pick from the Archers in the PLL this past week. He's got to do work there at the dot, but you got to tip your cap to Petrakis. He's done a great job going toe-to-toe with them here today. And unfortunately for the Big Red, the loose ball goes the other way, but then forced out of bounds is Camille.
We're seeing that so many times today, Cotter, where Ohio State finds a way to win the initial draw, but not the possession. It's blown up.
Bartolotto that time with the hustle, forcing the turnover. And now, as we've seen so often since Cornell took the lead and really took control of this game, looking to just settle in on 6-on-6, burn a little bit of clock, and run their offense.
And they allowed their attack to take over. In the first quarter, before the delay, the attack wasn't involved in the offense. But now Kirst with the 6 goals and the ball right now have taken over this game.
Oh, had his look with Long in front.
Wow.
Long just couldn't quite corral it. Otherwise, he had an easy goal on the back doorstep.
That was a next level pass.
Yeah.
And CJ Kirst knows that everyone in red is going to be quick to double team him. So he has to become the passer. And he does on that last possession. Absolutely threads it.
That pass may have been tipped. He went through so many sticks. Ohio State with another opportunity here. Got to start just digging into this disadvantage. Just one shot this entire quarter, and they were able to score with it. Smith gets his hand free. Earl gets just enough of it.
They flushed Smith to the middle of the field because he's a righty. They made him go to his weak hand.
Nice outlet to Singer. Just stays with Cordell as Long backs up. Once again, Kirst looks up at the clock, sees we're about 8.5 to go. It's 4-goal lead. No need to be in a hurry. Trip to Columbus in the quarterfinals await. Then they'll watch tonight's game between Delaware and Georgetown to see who they'll face. Winner of this game, that is. Still yet to be decided. Ohio State still has life, as we've seen. They got to get the ball back here. Piatelli.
Ohio State's in a zone. Down 4 goals. Might be because they're just gassed.
Right.
But time-wise, the zone just allows Cornell to eat more clock.
Keller had thought about it. Kirst. Wow. That ties the mark. No member of the storied program has ever scored more NCAA tournament goals now than CJ Kirst.
He's a dodger. He's a finisher. And he's a zone buster. Ties the Cornell record. You think of all the greats, from Eamon McEnany to Mike French to Rob Pennell, and it was Stevie Mock, but now the young buck comes to the party. It's all CJ Kirst.
I think we should explore a few solutions.
Grammarly's suggestions catch when your tone might undermine your message, and it offers suggestions to make you sound more confident.
Let's explore a few solutions.
Try Grammarly today at Grammarly.com.
Want to manage COVID? Just pay for Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Let's put COVID to rest.
7:49 here in the fourth quarter. 12-7 Cornell with the lead over Ohio State. It's been an outstanding year for the Ivies, and that's continuing in this NCAA tournament. You've already had Penn advancing with the overtime win over Richmond. You got Harvard and Rutgers in a good one right now in Piscataway. This game, winner will take on Georgetown and Delaware in Columbus next Sunday.
7-5. Rutgers is ahead of Harvard at the half in Piscataway.
NCAA men's lacrosse coverage continues next weekend for those quarterfinals. Action's going to begin on Saturday the 21st at noon on ESPNU. Visit NCAA.com. That's your home for all 90 NCAA championships. Ignaccio's got to come to the fore here. He just has to win these draws. Good play by Langermeyer to get the loose ball. Will he shoot? No, instead he gets it over to the fire. The shot that time was Colby Smith, but Erlin got a really good look at it.
Tried to beat him near pipe. Erlin was hugging that pipe with the body save.
That's got to be a push in the back.
No. Now what? Oh, there it is. The flag. Far side.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Fucking run. Yes, sir. Dog. Technical foul, push, 30 seconds. 4 red for 30.
Got your call, Cotter.
Yep, there it was. Colby Smith riding on the play.
Yeah, that's an easy call. Andrew Dalton wearing the famous number 42, 2009 Tewaaraton winner Max Sebald.
One of the few things that hasn't gone very well for Cornell today. Extra man just 0 for 2 on the EMO. Kelleher up top to Piatelli to Kirst. Skip past Kelleher. It goes off the top of his cross, out of bounds. Turnover to Ohio State. Wrist will look to clear. Over to Snyder. Rolls it over to Wallen. Now Riss.
Look at the physicality.
Myers.
Look at this.
Looks like he just wants to take it on himself now.
He is
double
absolute pit bull. This dude is unbelievable. His motor is just crazy. He's 5'8". That's a 6'4", 80-point score. Look at the ferocious approach. I mean, the double comes, but that's all athlete.
Right. Was a nice job by Dom Doria to come over and time that perfectly.
I would never double when he's defending his man. Never. Put
Even
him
in
out
that case?
No.
When Myers' back is turned, you know you got a good shot.
Well, the back is turned, yeah, because you could time the double and dislodge the ball. But I'm just saying, like, normally in space, I would never. Like, he should have his own rules as a lockdown defender. Maybe you say if we have an opportunity, the back of a helmet to us, we go from certain spots. But in space, I'm never sliding. He's that good.
So the rule of thumb, though, when you see the laces, as our bucket helmets used to be, laced
your laces back in 1991 at Georgia Tech.
The leather helmets, that's when you go. Nick Myers went with a timeout there, was able to get one because you could see that Myers was in trouble. 6:18 left to go, 5-goal advantage for Cornell. There's Nick Myers. You mentioned at the top, Clark, what a job he has done with this team. Been a little bit of a dry spell, you know, when you think about them. No postseason, you know, no NCAA tournament going back to 2017 when they had that great team that went all the way to the national championship game before falling to their Big Ten mates, Maryland.
Yep, I think he's been incredible this year. There is the pit bull, Gavin Adler. Just the way he walks too, right? Like we saw him in warm-ups, the way he trots. It's like he knows he's got some stuff to him.
Some swagger.
Yeah, he's confident,
I think he even cut the sleeves of that jersey up a little bit, don't you think? I mean, they just look a little bit shorter than the other sleeves.
If you played, you wouldn't even have sleeves. You'd be the only guy without sleeves. Like, look at this meathead.
Right.
He's only wearing those elbow pads because it's a rule.
Right.
Like, he
triceps.
wants nothing to do with elbow pads. Nothing.
Well, he knows he's doing tricep pushdowns over the next 3 days straight, so he wants to make sure he doesn't get him bruised up.
Can you tell we like Gavin Adler?
Reed just harassed a long way from the goal, but that means he's going to get ahead of steam here. Opting not to shoot it. Behind the cage. Couldn't see it initially, but Erland goes down, and now he finds it 5-hole.
That's 2 times now Kobe Smith, with time and room, is trying to beat Erland to the near pipe. And Erland is on that pipe. He's making body saves. And his positioning is closing the door on the sharpshooter.
Now he takes a long shot. It gets deflected into the goal! When it's going right for you, everything goes right. And that's what's happening right now for Cornell. And Coach Myers knows it.
We've seen 2 goals in this game, one by Ohio State and Tyler Gallagher that went about 80, 90 yards. Now, the luck of the Big Red.
That guy's had enough.
Yeah, he's had enough. He's shaking his head.
Can't believe it. I think Piatelli's going to get credit for that goal. Maybe not. Yeah, John Piatelli's going to get it. He touched it in the long dish from Chase Earl, and he'll get the assist.
Sometimes it's just not your day.
Full field assist. And it just had the right English.
Erland. Yeah.
Meant to do it.
Wait till he finds out he's not getting credit for the goal.
Great things happen when you throw the ball on cage, right? Timeout. Check that. Got a violation on the face-off against Ignacio in Ohio State. Now you get the timeout from Connor Busick with his team up 6 goals at 5:25. 7 goals on the day for C.J. Kirst. Let's look at every one of them.
Variety of ways. Get underneath your defender. That's 1. The right hand. That's 2. Play a little off ball as a cutter. You got a hat trick, but far from done. Play some off ball a little bit more, 15. They don't respect your right hand. No problem. Little flip from the 5th-year senior to the rookie. Piling on. You want to go zone, Ohio State? Fine. 7 goals for C.J. Kirst, the redhead of the 5 Kirst brothers.
7 goals for Kirst, 7 goals for the entire Ohio State Buckeye team, and only 3 since that dominating first quarter when they led 4-0 through 1. Kirst brothers, Lacrosse family, there they all are.
It's great.
Colin in action right now.
Yeah, then Connor had a terrific senior season for Rutgers last year after the majority of his career at Villanova. Colin's at halftime, staring down Harvard right now in the first round. CJ bottom right. Cole's at Lehigh right now. Reports are he will spend his last year of eligibility at Syracuse.
Wow.
Yes.
Syracuse is making some moves, by the way. A couple of big-time transfers coming in, and they may get another one. We'll see how it plays out, but they're certainly not standing pat with that great recruiting class of high school kids they got coming in. They're tapping the transfer market, too, to make some quick changes.
They need to. They need a lot of help in terms of depth at the midfield. You know, the portal can change everything. Rutgers, who's playing right now, is 15 guys they got from the portal. 15. Not talking like 2 or 3.
Right. The team in College Park has done some wonders with the transfer portal as well.
Oh, yeah. About Keegan Kahn and Jonathan Donville, who would be on this team, right? Who could be a first-team All-American. Imagine Donville on this team.
Right.
At the midfield.
With that attack unit on this team right now. Good hustle to keep possession. Kirst looking to add to his point total. Piatelli cuts and scores.
They're fun to watch. They're fun to watch because they play team ball. The ball is always hot. Players' heads are always up. Where's the next pass going to be? Head up, Piatelli. And Piatelli has crushed it in front of the cage this season. Over 50 goals. Because he knows he's the last player oftentimes in terms of that ball movement. Hot potato, give it to your goal scorer.
Ignacio comes out of there with it. Erlin, right in his breadbasket. Now he can't find it there.
A lot of times it seems like it gets stuck, right? He doesn't have those big baggy sweats today.
Over the shoulder look in the no man's land. Going tracks it down for Ohio State. Had that long weather delay early on in this game, early part of the second quarter, but man, the sun has come out and it is shining on Cornell at this moment.
With all the moisture and the rain, the turf is hot. Steamy.
Weisman gets knocked off his feet, no call. Now big loose ball. Right to Erlin's right. Still a big scrum. Dangerous situation right here. Just a pile of humanity. Ball squirts out. Who comes out of there with it?
Shocker.
Gavin Adler back to Erlin. Under 3 minutes to play. Big Red putting the finishing touches. Long pass. Piatelli will get another look. Shoots and scores. That's just too easy.
Remember, this game was 4-0 Ohio State. 15-3 run. Powered by the attack. Lots of long passing. Michael Long catches that. You see how his head's up right away? He's like, I don't even need to go to the goal. Watch the shot, though, by Piatelli. Goalie gets back in. Look at the placement. It's on a lefty goalie. Look where he beats him. Leans a little to the strong left-handed side of Walland and then beats him near pipe.
Drew Blanchard taking the draw for Ohio State. Transfer from Hobart. Wins the draw. Possession to Smith.
Well, the Ivies will be well represented in the quarterfinals.
9-6 right now. Rutgers on top and Piscataway. 10-6. Just scored again. Won't be the last goal scored in that game. You know, a lot of goals are going to be scored there as Erlin with another save.
It's so much controversy, right, in terms of all 6 Ivy teams in. And if you thought Notre Dame got robbed, you were an ACC homer. I was one of them. I never thought Cornell wouldn't be a playoff team, right, in the tournament. They deserve to be here. My issue was Notre Dame not getting in and Harvard getting in, right? Like Notre Dame, to me, talent-wise, the way they were playing, watching every single one of their games for the last 8 weeks, talent-wise, I thought they were a top 4 team in the country.
Yeah. You look at that 6-game winning streak that they ended the season on.
They were unbelievable.
Yeah.
They had all the pieces, too, right? Like Will Lynch, their freshman face-off specialist, he struggled early in the season. He started figuring things out. Liam Entenmann was unbelievable in the goal. The Kavanaugh brothers, I just think they deserved.
You got Jake Taylor at that crease.
Yeah, he changed the complexity
Changed
of the
everything with
offensive
them.
season. So it wasn't a matter of like all the Ivies are in that bucket. I just thought Notre Dame should have been in ahead of Harvard. Regardless of what Harvard does today, that's just my feeling. I'm not backing down from it.
Well, right now, Cornell looks like they're going to advance to join Penn, Princeton, Yale, already on their way to the quarterfinals. Brown falling to Virginia last night, and right now Harvard trailing Rutgers. Let's check out today's player of the game, brought to you by Capital One. Of course, it's C.J. Kirst. His 7 goals today ties a Cornell NCAA tournament record.
Unbelievable when you think about what he did in his rookie campaign for Cornell. He's the league's Rookie of the Year. In his first tournament game, dropped 7 goals. And it wasn't just him, man. Everyone was clicking. After 4-0, this team woke up. They figured things out. They locked it down on defense with Gavin Adler. Chase Erlin in the cage. Complete team effort.
Losing it out of bounds to Ohio State. Final minute and a half. Columbus, Ohio isn't far from where we are now, actually, but it's going to be a long trip back for this Buckeye team. But still, they can take solace in the fact that they won 10 games this year, and they're back. They're back on the scene in the Big Ten.
Well, good thing they don't have a bus ride like they did in March, right? They're flying back to Columbus. The future's bright. Nick Myers, I think, did, you could argue, maybe his best coaching job of his 14-year career. They have an incredible facility coming, lacrosse only, which I think is maybe one of the most dialed-in facilities as Jack Myers continues to go down swinging. 80 points heading into today. He'll be back for Nick Myers to play his 5th season. But when you see this Ohio State lacrosse-only facility, it is like perfect. It's going to feel like a rock concert because there's not a ton of seats.
Yeah, it really is. And there's areas for people to sit, enjoy a beverage, different areas. They got the wall ball facility. The practice facilities are second to none now once it's all completed. I expect that to be ready for next season. As this will be their final season in the shoe. Fall goes expected, which is where we will be next week for the quarterfinals.
Means it's it for me and you, man. This was a fun year with you.
Oh, it's it until the championship weekend.
Yes.
We'll be reunited then on the field.
Calling games together.
This is it for us
down on the field,
right?
Yeah.
Great season with you as always.
I'm a lot to hand. I have a lot of energy. You probably need a little break from me, right?
Yeah, every now and then I do, especially after this weekend. I'm gonna need a few days.
Yeah, I have our producer John Kettering saying yes, yes, yes in my ear right now. Is that like the talk around me?
No.
You all need a break?
Every now and then, everybody needs a break from everybody.
I don't always feel that way. I would do this again with you tomorrow.
Yeah, a couple of days away is really going to do us all a lot of good.
Oh, it's the best time of the year. It's May. It's what you wait for all season long because teams are chasing a trophy. Cornell is one step closer behind the performance of a freshman with a last name that everyone knows in college lacrosse. It's Kirst. But CJ makes his mark in Cornell lacrosse postseason history with 7 goals, Cotter.
Cornell advances to the quarterfinals where they await the winner of tonight's game between the Delaware Blue Hens and the Georgetown Hoyas. Here's the bracket as it looks. Both Penn and Cornell have advanced out of the Ivy League. Penn will head to Hempstead. They're awaiting this winner of the Rutgers-Harvard game. That game's going on right now over on ESPNU. Cornell advances. They'll take on the winner of Georgetown and Delaware.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one tonight. Don't underestimate Delaware's offensive players. J.P. Ward on the attack and Michael Robinson. They can score with the best of them.
Great season for the Buckeyes out of the Big Ten. making the dance for the first time since 2017, but today it was all Big Red and all CJ Kurst. 7 goals for the young man from Burnsville, New Jersey. Connor Busick celebrating. Big Red onto the quarters.